because we'll use it under our hips. You may even want to sit on it now in the beginning of class while we do like a seated breathing exercise. And then we're also going to use it at the end, towards the end, to lay back on. So you kind of want it to be like the length of your spine. Pillows work pretty good. Just something to kind of prop your chest open. So if you want to get that, go and get that. So you can be prepared when the time comes. So to begin, let's start with finding a comfortable position to be in. It doesn't have to be sitting up. Maybe you lean back and kind of rest on your couch, or you could take child, and child knees are wide, and you stretch your arms out and bring your forehead down. So find a comfortable way to begin your practice that allows you to take big, deep breaths and that feels pretty comfortable so you can stay in it for a few moments. And then take a few deep breaths. And start to drop down into that place of witness. You want to go deep within yourself, kind of look out, and just watch yourself without judgment. So you want to be a neutral witness to yourself. The first thing I like to watch is my breath. That's easy. We're always doing it. And there's a lot of variables with our breath. So notice your breath. We're just taking our attention and focusing it on these things that can help bring our mind a little peace and clarity. And so without judging or labeling, notice your breath. Notice where you're feeling the expansion of your inhale. Notice where you're holding tension. Check out your shoulders, your jaw, your neck. Try to use your exhale to soften in those areas. Any areas that sometimes I'll even notice I'm clenching my hands or scrunching my eyebrows together. So try to send your exhale through your body, kind of seeking out those places that are holding tension and trying to release it with your exhale. So inhaling, noticing the expansion. Exhale, relax. See if you can draw your breath down a little deeper, feeling the expansion in your belly and low back. Try to relax your shoulders. Take 5 more deep, smooth, balanced breaths. And if you need even more help focusing your attention, count your breath. And then with your next inhale, come to hands and knees and start to move through cat and cow. Take it an exhale and round your spine, let your head hang heavy, and just go really slow and gentle. Cat and cow seems like this kind of beginner's thing, seems easy and gentle, but if you go too fast, too soon, it can make you dizzy, and you can end up hurting your back. So you want to go really slow. And we're doing this to get our spine warmed up, but we also want to start to take that neutral, accepting inventory of how we're feeling. So as you start to flex and extend your spine, notice where you've got good movement in your spine, and notice where it's feeling maybe a little stiff or a little stuck. Try taking your awareness, starting as you're moving from cat to cow. Start at the pelvis and then take your awareness up your spine, bringing your neck into it last. Then start at your pelvis again. And go up through your spine so you can really witness how your spine moves. What areas are hypermobile? Usually our low lumbar is pretty mobile. Notice your neck. Very mobile. And then start to take your attention through your ribs. You can sweep your feet over to the left and stretch to the right side of your rib cage. You can kind of push and rock into that. And then go the other way. Sweep your feet the other direction, kind of pushing and rocking into the left side of your ribs. Scoop your shoulders around. Take your awareness through your shoulders and your hips. Take your awareness down your arms and walk your hands around. Take them out, spin them out. They don't have to go as far as mine. Maybe your wrists can face forward, maybe your wrists just face each other. And take a few passes and a little rocking motion like this. Externally rotating your arms. And then feeling the rotation of the head of your humerus bone in the shoulder girdle. Take a pass at cat and cow like this. Rock from side to side. Feel through your hands, forearms, and wrists. And then spin your hands the other way. Turn them in. Maybe you can point your fingers towards each other or back towards you. And do the same thing. Take a pass at cat and cow. Get that movement going in your shoulders. And maybe rock from side to side. Now bring your hands back to center, fingers pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Really spread your fingers wide. Keep your arms straight and slowly lean forward. You're taking your arms out in front of your hands just a little bit. And you want to really grip the mat with your hands. And just go as far as what feels okay for you. You don't want to force anything. And you can rock from side to side. Now turn your hands out just a little bit. And now rock forward and see if that feels any better. The bones, the tiny little bones in our wrists, all line up differently for everyone. So just kind of seeing what angle feels best for your hands and wrists. And depending on what feels best is probably how you want to have your hands in downward dog. Maybe your fingers don't point right towards the front edge of your mat. Maybe they point towards the corners of your mat. Tuck your toes. Sit back towards your heels and kind of rock your feet from side to side, taking the stretch across the balls of your feet. And then take your feet down and sit back on your heels. If this hurts your knees, don't do it. Just go back to hands and knees. We're going to stretch the tops of our feet. So I want you to really spread your toes down on the mat. Try to get even your pinky toe down on the mat if you can. And then you can lean back and lift your knees just a little bit and see how that feels. Again, if it hurts, don't do it. That's a good rule to know in any of the classes I teach. There's no need to hurt ourselves to try to do something in our yoga class. We want to make ourselves feel really good after class. So you can kind of stretch out your feet, you can kind of rock from side to side. And then I think we're ready to come into down dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. And start to walk out the backs of your legs. Keep exploring. We're here to keep dropping into that place of being a neutral witness as we move through our practice. So you want to keep witnessing your breath and your body. Start to take small steps forward to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Forward fold. Bend your knees. You may want to widen your stance. Maybe you turn your toes out towards the corners of your mat. And just you can hang here. You can bring your forearms to the tops of your thighs. I want you to focus on finding more length in your spine. So really focus on a long exhale here. You change your breath just a little bit when you're in forward fold. Less of an inhale, more of an exhale, kind of working down at the bottoms of your lungs. Empty your lungs for more space to fold. Move and explore, but do it slowly and do it with your breath. One more exhale here, and on your inhale, reach up. Bring your hands down by your sides and come into mountain pose. So take a little bit of movement here. And then settle into a powerful stance with good posture. Think of focusing on effort and ease here. So standing in power but not being too rigid. You want to be engaged here with strong legs. But you don't want to lock your knees. You don't want to tense up through your chest and shoulders. You want to try to relax here as well. Take a few deep breaths. Witnessing yourself, your breath. On your next inhale, bring your arms up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Reach up. Come into mountain. Getting into the rhythm of moving with your breath. Reach up, big inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. So here in plank, you can engage everything nice and strong. You want wide shoulders. Maybe you're turning your fingertips out towards the corners of your mat a little bit to make your wrists comfortable. You can also do it on your knees. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib, no matter whether you've got your knees down or not. Keep drawing the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib. Look out in the front of your mat, and with an exhale, lower yourself down. Keep pulling the pelvis towards the ribs. Coming all the way down. Prop yourself up on your forearms for space. And notice the back bend here. It's in the lumbar spine, the lower part of our spine, where we're moving through cat and cow and noticing a lot of mobility there, maybe. If you want less of a back bend, just take your arms out a little wider. And then you can start to add movement here if you'd like. You can kind of pull your right shoulder forward while you draw your left shoulder back, looking back over your left shoulder. Change side. It's another great place to move your neck around a little bit. You can look from left to right. Look up and down. Tucking your chin into your chest, maybe rocking your head from side to side out in front of you. Take one more inhale and kind of pull your chest forward, and then as you exhale, keep pulling forward and lower down. Bring your forehead down to the mat. Push yourself up and back to child. Take your knees wide. Arms stretched out in front of you, forehead down to the mat. As you breathe here, inhale, length up your spine, or in your spine. And on your exhale, relax through your hips and knees. And do that a few more breaths. Inhaling, lengthen your spine. Exhale, relax your hips and knees, relax your shoulders and chest. On your next inhale, come up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes, downward dog. One more deep breath here. Exhale. With your inhale, walk your feet forward to your hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Come into mountain. Reach up with your inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. Take a couple breaths here in plank. Use your knees if you'd like. Look out towards the front of your mat. Engage core stability by drawing the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib. Lower down your knees, then your chest and chin. And then come all the way down. Cobra pose. So in Cobra, we want to keep our hands down towards our chest, kind of right in by our side. Hug your elbows into your side body like you're trying to touch your elbows across your back. Press the tops of your feet down. Lengthen your spine and draw your chest forward and up. So we want to strengthen our back in this one. Draw your shoulder blades together on your back. Press your feet down. This should be very active, kind of a difficult pose. You want to make sure you keep your breath smooth. You can even lift your hands, really using the strength of your back. Press the tops of your feet down. Draw your chest up. Look forward. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, lower down, bring your forehead down, and just rest. Take a breath here. You're ready to push up to a high plank or a kneeling push-up. Push up with your knees or plank. And then go back to downward dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. And come into mountain. Reach up with your inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Maybe you use your knees here. Lower down with strength. Maybe you can come down just halfway. Come forward and through for a back bend or up dog. And then go back to down dog. One more exhale here. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Come into mountain. Reach up on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Inhale. Step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. Lower down with your exhale. Inhale, forward and through. Back to down dog. One more exhale here, downward dog. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Come into mountain. So we're going to set up warrior two from here. You're going to step your right foot towards the front of your mat and step your left foot back. Your right toes are pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Left toes are pointing to the side. And I want you to bend your right knee a few times and make sure your right knee and toes are pointing in the same direction. And then see if you can stack your right knee right above your ankle. Push to the outside edge of your left foot, pull your femur bones in so you're really activating here. Feel your feet grip the mat. Feel that opposite pull of femur bones in, pelvic floor lifts, lengthen your spine. Really strong and engaged through your legs. Now look over your right fingertips and kind of move your wrists around a little bit. You can flex, extend. You can turn your palms up, finding a little more space. Reverse warrior. Right arm goes up, left down. Keep your legs just how they are. Check your right knee. It's still stacked above your right ankle. Legs are still really strong and engaged. And come back to center. Now straighten your front leg and turn your toes to face the side of your mat. Take a little bend with your knees, bring your hands to your low back and come down with a flat back. Wide-legged forward fold. And take a little movement here. Can you let your head hang and look behind you? Maybe you want to take your hands out to your ankles and kind of pull your chest through your legs if you want a little more. Halfway lift here, getting ready to come up. So you want to bend your knees a little bit, bring your hands to your low back, come up with a flat back. You're drawing your shoulder blades together as you come up. We're going to turn and do warrior two the other way. So turn your left toes towards the back of your mat, start to bend your left knee, and then come into it. Activate. So you're gripping the mat, you're pushing to the outside edge of your right foot, and then you're pulling energy in. It's almost like you're feeling these muscles, your adductor muscles at the inside of your thighs engaged. It's almost like you're trying to pull your legs together, but you're rooting down. And then look out over your left fingertips. Take a little movement with your wrist. What can you find here? Can you find a little more space? Reverse warrior. Left arm goes up, right arm down. Legs stay just how they are. You're still really feeling your adductor muscles engaged, still rooted down. And come back to center. Extend your front leg. Turn your toes back to the front edge of your mat. Hands come to hips, slight bend in the knees. You're coming down safely. We're going to take a little side lunge here, transverse lunge. So turn your right toes out at a 45-degree angle and start to bend your right knee and just walk your hands over towards your right foot. You don't have to go down all the way. If you can come down low enough that your left leg wants to start to externally rotate, make sure you're flexing your left knee and ankle. So if your left leg is straight, you're protecting your left knee. And just take any movement over here that you want to take. And then we'll change sides. Come up, go the other way, turn your left toes out. And just bring your hips down and take a big knee stretch. Come to center. We're going to take that forward fold one more time, and feel free to keep adjusting your stance and your feet. You want to feel safe and steady here. So take a halfway lift, inhaling, lengthen your spine, and then on your exhale, fold down. You may want to grab hands behind your back, maybe even bring your arms up and over, if that feels good, or do whatever you want here. Try shifting the weight around in your feet. And then on your next inhale, come up safely and step your feet together. Let's take tree here. Shift your weight onto your right foot. And I just want you to make this like really carefree, no pressure. You're just experimenting with balancing on one leg. You're experimenting with finding ease, even with all the tension that you have to create in a balanced pose. So you really want to engage your right leg, but you also want to try to keep it relaxed up here. So practice balancing on your right leg. Do whatever you want with your left leg. Maybe you just want to hover it, or maybe you bring it to the inside of your right leg. If you want to challenge yourself here, see if you can change your arms or lift your face, changing your gaze, taking your gaze up to the ceiling. Just hold it as long as you can, keeping your breath smooth and steady. When you're done, step out of it. Take a little movement. When you're ready, shift to the other leg. Step down with your left foot. Engage all the muscles in your left leg. Left glutes are engaged. You're lifting and lengthening. You're engaging core stability by drawing the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib just a little bit. And then start to lift your right leg. Taking your time here. Noticing if you're holding tension anywhere it doesn't need to be. You don't need to scrunch your eyebrows or clench your jaw here. See if you can release in a few places up here. You've got to keep the strength in your core and in your standing leg. What about your standing foot? Can you spread your toes a little more and maybe not be clutching the mat with your toes? Step out of it. Take a little movement. At the top of your mat, reach up with an inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. Lower yourself down with strength. We're going to take shoulder roll here. So take your left arm straight out. Use your right hand to guide yourself back so you feel a stretch in the front of your left shoulder. You can keep your right arm out in front of you, kind of guiding you into it, keeping you stable. You want to lift your head gently. If you've got the flexibility and you want to bring your right arm up and back, you can do that too. Just make sure it's not putting too much pressure on your left shoulder. One more inhale. And come back onto the front side of your body. Change sides. Take your right arm out. Guide yourself back. Notice as you lift your head, try to use just as much effort as it takes to lift your head and no more. Don't tighten up any muscles of your face. Lifting your head, building a little neck streak here. On your next exhale, come onto the front of your body. Center yourself on the mat. Push yourself up to hands and knees. We're going to thread the needle here. So you want to stack your hips right above your knees. Now you're going to bring your left arm under your right arm, through the eye of the needle. I guess that's what we have to make for this. Come down to your left arm. Bring your left ear down to the mat. Inhale, expand through your back. Exhale, get a little heavier on your left shoulder. And sometimes I'll put my right hand on top of my left hand here and kind of push down and pull to create a little more of a twist. On your inhale, come back up to center. Take a little movement. Change sides. Bring your right arm under your left. Left ear comes down to the mat, hips are up in the air. You can just use your right hand to steady yourself. You can put your right hand on your left hand and kind of push down and pull. If you want to get really heavy across your right arm, you can bring your left arm down by your side. And then come back up. Take a little break, take a little movement. We're going to take kneeling dog next. So hips stay stacked above your knees. Walk your hands out in front of you. Chest, chin, or forehead comes down to the mat. Down towards the mat. It doesn't have to touch. Rise up. Come back to hands and knees. Maybe round your spine here a little bit and kind of rock from front to back. And then come into down dog. Nod your head, yes and no. Take a little movement with your head and then just let it hang heavy. Walk your feet forward to your hands and have a seat. Lay all the way back. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. And then hug the back of your left thigh in. And find a big stretch in your right glutes. So you may want to rock from side to side, rounding out your low back. Maybe Kind of rock over to the left to find a deeper stretch. Go a little deeper here. Hug it in a little more. Maybe you lift your head and shoulders off the mat to just add a little more weight. Finding a big stretch over in your right glutes. And then keep your legs in the same shape that they're in. Release the pose and put your left foot down on the mat. The bottom of your right foot is going to come over to the floor on the left side of your mat. And your left leg can just kind of turn and go down with it, and kind of in that same zigzag shape. Point your right knee up towards the ceiling. It's kind of like you're trying to take it away from you. And bring your right hand to your right hip. I want you to find a stretch where your right hand is. So you may need to relax a little more, trying to relax through your low back on your right side. You can also stretch your right arm up. You want to find a little more length through your side over there. Keep your breath smooth and steady. And then use your core strength to come back to center. Unravel your legs. Cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh, making like a figure 4 shape with the legs. And then hug the back of your right thigh. And you can kind of rock from side to side. Maybe you rock over to the right a little bit when you need a deeper stretch. Get into it for your last 2 breaths. Find a big, deep stretch. Now I know what time it is. The city alarm check's going off. It's 8:45 on the first Wednesday of the month. Come back to center. Keeping that same shape with your legs. Put your right foot down. Use your right hand to kind of guide. Bringing your bottom of your left foot over to the floor on the right side of your mat. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left hip and see what you can find there. You want to point your left knee up towards the ceiling or maybe even away from you. Start to relax your low back down towards the mat. Take deep breaths, smooth breaths. And then release. Come back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Rock from front to back. And come up. take your right leg right out in front. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Inhale, length. Exhale, go forward over your right leg. And work on finding length in the back of your right leg. So if you can reach your toes, you may want to pull your toes back to you. Maybe you even lift your right heel up off the floor a little bit. Try reaching with both hands separately. See what you can find. Another 3 breaths. Inhaling length, maybe coming up and out of it a little more to create a little space. Exhale, go back down. And then on your inhale, come up. Sit up tall. I'm going to twist to the right. So twist to your right, bring your right hand over to your left knee. Inhale, length. Exhale, twist. You can add your neck last. Once you've got your torso twisted as far as it goes, just turn and look to the left. On your exhale, come back to center, change sides. Take your left foot out. Left leg straight out from your hip. And root down with both sitting bones. Inhale, length. Exhale, go forward. And then work on lengthening the back of your left leg. So if it feels like the stretch is mostly in your back, try just lengthening your spine and just coming down, not quite as far. Go for a big stretch in the back of your left leg. And try reaching with both arms. When I reach with my right arm over to the outside of my left foot, it kind of brings a nice squaring of the hips. It deepens the stretch a little bit. So try both ways. Three more deep breaths. Inhaling length. Exhaling, going a little deeper. Maybe lift your heel up off the floor. On your inhale, come up. Twist to your right. Bring your left hand over to your right knee. Sit up tall. Inhale, length. Feeling your sitting bones rooting down in the mat. Inhale up from there. And then add your neck last. One more inhale, nice and tall. Come back to center. We're going to use our bolster now, or pillows, or rolled up blanket, to take an inversion. So you're going to lay back, lift your hips, and bring the pillow or the blanket or the bolster under your hips and put your feet up. You can also put your hands up, especially if you've been working on the computer a lot. Put your hands up. We're just draining blood and fluids away from our extremities. Giving our lymph system a little pump here. And then just get as still as you can get. See if you can feel your heartbeat in your feet. Deep, slow breaths. Take a little movement with your toes and your fingers when you need to. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Take your bolster out of there. Sit up. And now we're going to put our bolster long behind us, the length of our spine, to give us a big chest opener. So you can kind of put it wherever you want, but you want to feel a big boost so you're feeling like you're opening through your sternum area. So lay yourself back, find some space through your ribs, your chest, your shoulders, and just allow yourself to lay here comfortably. If you want to sneak another little hip opener in, you can bring the soles of your feet together. Inhale, space and expansion. Exhale, relax and get heavy. See if you can start to make your exhale a little longer here. Lately I find that I've been taking a lot of deep sighs, long exhales, just in my day-to-day to kind of recenter myself and give myself a little relief from the mental wheel spinning. So if you want, take a deep inhale, and then on your exhale, blow the air out of your mouth, blowing it out. Feeling a little release with that. Inhaling in through your nose. Exhaling, blowing it out. Or a big sigh can help release too. Take a few more of these big breaths that help you find release. And then we're going to move into Shavasana. So you can roll down off the side of your bolster. Get it out of there. Maybe you put it under your knees for a little support there. And just find a position that feels comfortable enough for you to lay in for about 4 or 5 minutes. Take a few more of those big breaths that help you release. Long exhales. And allow yourself to become still here. Begin to bring awareness back. Deepen your breath. Create a little bit of movement. And then gently make your way onto your side. Take a few breaths there. And help yourself come up to a comfortable seat. And of course, all of this is if you're ready to come out of Shavasana. Since you're doing yoga at home, you know, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. But if you're ready to come out of it, come on up to a comfortable seat and rub your hands. Thank you so very much for joining me for yoga. Namaste. Have a good day. Love to you. Thank you. Bye. Thanks a lot.